In this spiritual, fifth-generation war, the biggest weapon we wield is truth. This is the No Prisoners Podcast with your host, 451 Actual.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's your boy, 451 Actual, and my, oh my, is it not a glorious day to be a truth teller? We are witnessing the absolute collapse of the legacy media clowns who advocated and championed your censorship. They advocated for it, they championed it, they celebrated it. And now the rug appears to have been pulled out from underneath of them, friends. That ship is sinking. And it is absolutely glorious, and it is because folks like you have been showing up to this crazy show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and all of these other awesome podcasts out here taking the narrative back, taking the information back, and handing out that information ammunition left and right, and it is absolutely beautiful. All glory to God, man, that in this time, so many awesome folks were able to coalesce using what they built as a weapon to control you. And we said, you know what? You can go ahead and try to limit us all you want. We're going to build our own infrastructure over here. We're going to build it from the ground up because there are passionate people who love this country, who love God, who love the truth. And we're not going to take this crap lying down. And so here we are today, episode 171. So good to have you guys with us this morning. Good stankin' morning to ya. Gray Man was right, man. He said while we were listening to that Don Henley song, it's time to take out that dirty laundry, time to clean it up. And the beautiful part about this laundry is it seems to be sending itself into the abyss without much work from us anymore. So I'm here for it. I know Kevin and Sandra are here for it. I know Feisty's here for it. I know you guys are here for it. So let's go ahead and say good morning to everybody in the chat because we have a packed show, and not to mention, we will be covering the Trump visit to Washington, D.C., his first since leaving to Palm Beach after the stolen election resulted in the installation inauguration of old Sleepy Joe. So we will be checking up on this as it goes along. We've also got the Senate Majority Leader vote taking place today. So we'll be taking a look at that as that information starts to come through. So if you guys see any of that information come across X or anywhere else, please do not hesitate to drop it in the chat. That way we can bring it up and we can start talking about it. But there is going to be all sorts of stuff happening today. May end up running a little bit overtime because we're going to be talking a lot about the cabinet appointments so far, the ones that aren't confirmed, and taking a look at some of the choices that have been made so far, and of course those rats that are jumping ship, that are on the sinking ship, their reaction to all of Trump's picks so far. It's absolutely glorious, friends. So without further ado, let's say good morning to everybody in the chat. We got Nuclear Family of 4 in the house. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. There's Coffee Talk with Sandra. So good to have her in the chat and in studio. Cisco Kid, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Salty Motorhead, what's up, brother? Thank you so much for tuning in. We got White Wings 1776 in the house. Good to see you. Said, go away, MSM. They totally are. They are running at full speed in the opposite direction, and it's amazing. And it's going to be glorious to see them to try to catch up with like the podcast independent media culture, because Don Lemon is a perfect example of how that works. I've got a couple of videos from him today, including one that just dropped a little bit ago. He's abandoning X, guys. He is done with X after 16 years of being on the platform. The Guardian as well, the crap rag from the UK. They will no longer be posting on X because it's racist. Let's see. We got Kevin in the chat, so good to have you in there. We got Mama451 in the house. What's up? Thank you so much for being here. Love you, Mama. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see who else we got. We've got G-Man. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Jolly Roger. What's up, brother? Good to see you in the chat. Let's see. Who else we got? I love you guys. I love your guys' reactions to the opening songs, man. It's like one of my favorite parts. Let's see. Who else we got? We got the Gray Man. Like I said, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Lightspear, good morning. Good to see everybody. All right. Let's get this love here real quick. We had Old Salty Dog coming in hot with a ship. Thank you so much for that support, sir. Good morning. Working and lurking as usual. Much love. And then Mama451 coming in with a cookie. Thank you so much for that. Love you. Let's go. Oh, look at that. Hopping up in real time. We had Water Wizard now coming in with a can. Thank you so much for that. Poor Joe. Man. Come on, man. Of all the days to do damage to Joe Biden with the cans, guys, this is the day. Because he's going to be standing next to the man. They're going to be delivering remarks. Oh, please. Let it be so bad that Trump does like one of those slow glances over, like, and he just stares at him. Oh, please. That would be so good. That would be so good. So keep those cans coming. I appreciate that. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody coming in here. Water Wizard again. Wood Geek said, I want Ducey to ask KJP how it felt to have a real president in the White House again after the Trump visit. Oh, I've got the absolute banger of a question that Ducey asked KJP yesterday. I sent her into an absolute tirade, and she was so mad. And it was just a pure trolling maneuver from Peter Ducey, man. I mean, that stuff was hilarious. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Okay. Well, let's get into it, guys. Sandra, it's so amazing to have you back this morning. How are you?
So happy to be here. Doing good.
How's
so
life
good.
been since the election? How has it been?
I mean, I'm still like, I have a hard time being like overjoyed. I have this angst, like, what are they going to try to do? I just can't go full joy, but I'm happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. What is their trickery?
Cautiously optimistic, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Because
got
the
a long
higher
way to
you
go.
go, the harder you fall.
Yeah. We got to stay focused. And there's plenty of shenanigans going on in the background, so we will definitely be bringing that in.
And aren't we
all right.
so entertained? We just want
I'm
like
so
this
entertained.
is super entertaining.
Oh man, yes.
it's
And we're
fun.
gonna be
There's
we're
some
gonna be
fun.
opening up that whole can of entertainment today, guys. I'm telling you, all of the openers, all of the content that we have with the cabinet building part of things. We've got some more information. Thanks to FeistyAce, she compiled a whole bunch of stuff about vaccines, and we have more information about now turbo aging is another possible side effect from these mRNA shots. Turbo aging, literally aging you. And then just a few days ago, at some conference, they admitted that the immunizations were designed to sterilize a majority of men because they want to control population. So Bill Gates was not lying to you, and he wasn't misspeaking when he said that immunizations were meant to lower the population. So we'll be getting into that as well. Kevin, how are you this morning, sir?
Well,
Let's see what you got
I'm
here,
looking. I saw something and I put it into our DMs, and I'm not
Yes,
sure
I've got
when
it
this
here.
happened. When did this happen? When did this guy go and throw the axe at the target and completely missed the target, went over the target, and it hit this drummer? And it's like, why? God.
But did he die?
No, he didn't die. And I have to ask, it's like all things happen for a reason. What were you up to, sir? Why did you get hit with the axe? It's
I'm looking at it. It's like, why didn't they have any type of thing around it? Like, you go to those axe throwing things. We'll take a look at it. But you get those axe throwing things. They always have like a huge like cage around them, and they just decided to not have one on this one. I don't know. I mean, he was on target. He was just a little high, just a little, just a bit outside.
Yeah,
felt bad. I mean,
yeah.
You know.
So yeah. Other than that, I'm doing fine. And good morning. What's up, Sandra?
I just looked at it.
Yeah. How embarrassing.
Well, it's a good thing we're not throwing axes really in the military anymore. All right, we're doing some more long range, more advanced weapons of war now. So I think you'll be able to handle. He could be able to handle himself there.
I've gone to lumberjack days in Stillwater in Minnesota. On the border of Wisconsin.
Really?
And I've participated in the axe throw. I have never missed the target.
Listen, you never cease to amaze me. Like, your resume is just packed with experiences. I love it.
I like living life. It's it's one of those things I enjoy doing, is going out and doing different kinds of things. I don't see a point in just doing the same old. It's like, put yourself out there every once in a while, put yourself in a little bit of a risky situation. And I am one of those pathos. I mean, which is more than obvious. It's like, I have walked in many different shoes, and I've got stories from each one of those sets of shoes.
Well, I love it.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn.
So good morning.
Good morning to you. Yes, good morning, everybody. All right, so we'll show this video of Pete here real quick. We got some other videos of him, and of course the left being absolutely triggered by his appointment. But here you go, guys. I guess this is them trying to cast doubt on him because he missed an axe throw. Like, I would love to see these liberals even pick up an axe, let alone throw one. Anyway, here we go.
With the axe, who's going to win this battle with the lumberjacks? That's coming up next. I'm putting my money on Clayton.
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. Anyway, all right.
Could you imagine though the drummer? Like, I feel for him because he had no idea what was coming.
Right. No, he didn't. Okay. So we got some nice opening videos here from Talk Church guys. Again, we got to give it up to God in the beginning of every episode. At least we try to. And so I got a few of these lined up for you. Hope you enjoy them. Let's get into it. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you hit that red pill and the repost button. Let's get some more friends and family in here to come and hang out on this glorious hump day. Let's go.
If you had a chance to ask God any question and get the answer immediately, what would you ask him?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I don't think I would ask God a question. I would just give him thanks.
That's so
I used to ask why. Beautiful. But guess what why stands for? Who hurt you? Guess what it stands for again?
What?
Who helped you? Guess what it stands for again?
What?
What healed you? So again, when you ask them questions, you find your purpose. So I feel like there's no reason to ask God why. God does things to build you, not kill you. So I don't think I would ask. I would just give God thanks if I had to ask him a question.
If you had a chance to ask God any question and get the answer immediately, what would you ask him?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Pretty great answer.
That was awesome.
You know what? I want to back up to something because I just saw Salty Motorhead over here go and put in a comment, and he's absolutely right. He says, dumb assholes standing in front of axe throwers. Hello?
Right.
If you're at an axe throwing event, don't stand in the line of sight or anywhere where that axe is going to go. How about that? Use some common sense. Who set that up? A diversity hire. That's
a diversity hire. Yeah, and put any type of control around the surrounding area just in case an axe were to go amiss around the barrier. You know what I mean? Like, come on, folks.
Yes.
D Hex, what's up? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, that was a dumb place to have an axe throw to begin with. Asking for a mishap, says Wood Geek. 100%. 100%. Okay, let's continue on here. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Nice analogy here. Here we go. Whoops.
This morning we had a beautiful new set of twins, as you see right here behind me. But I want you to notice something. See what Mama's doing right there? Mama has decided to reject that little girl. So that means, guess what? The shepherd gets to take his little lamb home and raise it. But I saw a lesson in this, and I want to share it with you. Sometimes in our life, someone who's really important to us, who we think our survival depends upon that person, they reject us. They turn their back on us, and they leave us alone. They won't let us have the milk that we think we need. They won't feed us. They won't groom us. They won't even clean us off. This little lamb is nasty. She's been born for half a day, and her mama hasn't cleaned her off. And as you see, she's butting her, and now she's afraid of her. And oftentimes we wonder, why did that person who was so important to me, did they leave me? Why did they abandon me? Why are they hurting me? Why are they rejecting me? Maybe, just maybe, it's because the shepherd wants to pick you up and take you home, clean you up and feed you himself. And in that way, you will form an intimate, close relationship with the shepherd. So I'm looking forward to raising this little girl right here, because I know when I get done, she'll run to me, she'll love me, she'll stick with me no matter what. When someone's left you or abandoned you that you think life is terrible, maybe it's just because the shepherd wants to pick you up and spend some intimate time with you.
Okay. Maybe
I'm telling you what.
Maybe hurry your ass up before Mama beats the shit out of that little lamb. I mean, maybe step it up a little bit. I mean, shit.
You got to give it time, right? You got to give it time. Maybe the relationship would be there, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it doesn't work out.
No, there's no relationship there. Mama's saying, nature is saying you're gonna get weaned out, so it's time to save the little thing. Oh my gosh.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, you should come with warnings. You
What
two
kind
in a
of
row. You're trying to make me cry.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make you cry. All right, here we go. So this one is, do you know this about what Jesus said in Matthew 5? This is pretty awesome too. Here you go.
This is the most misunderstood Bible verse in the whole New Testament, Matthew 5. If your right eye causes you to sin, gouge it out. If your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. Now, for years as a pastor, I taught that Jesus was just using hyperbole to tell us to take sin so seriously that we were willing to commit a radical amputation of anything in our life that causes us to sin. While that's true, the meaning is deeper and it is mind-blowing. Here's the clue. So in the verse immediately before, Jesus mentions another body part when he says, if anybody lusts, they've committed adultery in their heart. And the whole purpose of the Sermon on the Mount is that actions are just like fruit that grow from the tree of the heart. So here's this mind-blowing secret hidden in this passage. Imagine a lustful man that touches a woman inappropriately, so he cuts off his hands. But then he realizes, man, I can still lust with my eyes, so he cuts out his eyes. But then he realizes he can still say sinful things, cuts out his tongue. And then he realizes he can still listen to things that stir lust, cuts off his ears. And on and on and on it goes, and he never seems to be able to cut off the part of him that causes him to sin. Jesus is saying, in order to do that, you're going to need to cut out your heart, and I can do that for you. As in Ezekiel 36, God prophesies that someday a new heart I will give you, and I'm going to put a new spirit inside you. I'll remove your old heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. Christianity is not primarily behavior modification. It's about heart transformation.
Boom. That's a banger.
That is a banger.
All right, here's another good one right here, guys. This is good.
Never apologize for having standards. And the beauty of standards is standards will always expose those who come with an agenda. And your emotional intelligence and biblical standards will always frustrate those who can't run game on you. It will always frustrate manipulators. Then what you have to be careful of is manipulators will try to project on you. They'll start to say things like, you got trust issues. How about, this is not trust issues. This is, I've seen this pattern before, and I refuse to entertain the same pattern of being deceived because I compromised my standards. To have standards is to be aware of your value. To have standards is to be aware that God set your value to priceless. Now, the danger in allowing people to give you value or give you significance is you give them the power to set your price. So you could be more valuable than the whole department store, but you will settle with being on the clearance rack just so that you can get their approval. And it's not a standard if you are not willing to experience loss. If you aren't willing to lose something due to your standard, it's not a standard, it's just a suggestion. Sometimes we have mislabeled victories because if you lost them but found you, you really won. If the relationship failed, but now you have a prayer life, you really won. If you didn't get the position, but that wasn't what God had for you anyway, you really won. Never apologize for having standards.
Boom. Never apologize for having standards. All right, let me pull up this history here real quick. Let's see. I'm gonna give these two here to chat because I don't know which one Nuclear Family of 4 wanted. So let's give that one. That's the lamb. And the other one about Matthew 5. Copy and paste. All right, there you go, guys. All right. There's those two videos, and then I will post this one. Never apologize for having standards. Right there. Boom. Okay. Let's continue on here. We got some good stuff going on. Okay. Well, this is the sweetest convoy in the world, guys. Sweetest convoy in the world. Convoy. Oopsies, didn't mean to click on that, sorry. precious. You gotta love it.
So adorable.
I know, right? I'd never seen this video. Do you guys know that they built a house in 2 hours and 45 minutes in 1983? An entire house. Check this out.
We tell you, you were skeptical? Didn't think it could be done in 4 hours? It wasn't. 2 hours and 45 minutes. But, in case you missed it, would you like to see it in 1 minute?
That's pretty wild.
Super wild.
Love it. I love it. All right. Well, speaking of wild, sometimes you just gotta take it easy. Otherwise, you're gonna get mollywopped by your lady. Check this out. He was not having it.
It's because that scared the crap out of her. Did you see her?
Yes, I did. She was completely zero G there for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. All right.
I know.
All right, so this is the one of the best pranks that this guy's ever seen. I got to agree. This is pretty extensive, and how it ends is absolutely hilarious. There you go.
Bit of a prank on our browser Rust.
Yep. Oh, look at that.
Basically, idea is we're plumbing his whole house with beer. And this guy's going to come home and it's going to get awesome. See on it? I don't think he's dusted under there for months.
Camera. Little camera in there. Got a shoe cam down here.
Yeah, just a pretty simple setup.
Whoa, it's like cold beer too, look. Oh my gosh. Got no fresh water anywhere.
Here come the old balls. It's filming it all on his phone. It actually tastes really good. Here it comes.
There's like 10 kegs of beer under this mug. Buddy of mine, boy!
Wow.
Oh, man. Only in Australia. Well, we got producer Face in here. Good morning, Feisty.
Hi, Feisty.
Good morning.
We're getting her headset. There she is.
Good morning, everybody.
So good to have you. How are you?
Thank you. It took me 20 minutes to get my frappe. That's how I'm doing.
But it was free.
It was free. I earned that free frappe, though, might I
Yeah, you did.
add. But I was like, oh my gosh, come on. Thankfully, though, I'm always a cheery person. So, I wasn't rude to the gal and stuff. I know that they're, short staffed, and it was definitely a morning rush. I know I dropped my daughter off, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's busy this morning." And I was like, "Oh, lucky you." So,
That's awesome.
but yes, it's a beautiful, very frigid morning, and I'm drinking an iced coffee.
Yeah. Nice. Well, there you go.
Yes. So yes, wonderful day.
All right.
What do we
Yes,
have going
yes,
on?
indeed.
How is everybody today?
Doing great. Doing great.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Sandra, I have missed you so much.
Yay, I've missed you too. I'm glad you're back. Listen, I gotta know, since we're sidebarring, how was the website released for the 1,000?
We're still. I gotta actually get it published, but we added all the merch in. It's all ready to go. I just literally have to launch that bad boy, and then you guys can start exploring. It's not 100% done yet, but we are right there. We are right there.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be
Congrats.
Awesome.
You guys are doing it. You're working hard.
We are.
It's wonderful.
We are.
Yeah, it's I'm writing all the copy for each product and all that stuff, just trying to make sure everything is populated and looks good, and we want to get a couple of the products in our hands to make sure that the quality is right, and then we'll be ready to go. So we're right there. We're right there.
So you're gonna send me leggings? That's what I heard, right?
Yeah, I'll send you leggings. I'll send you leggings.
You're the best.
I know. All right. CK Whitehorse, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Good to see everybody that's hopping in. Matt Hat 1, good to see you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for checking in. Stuck in New York. Hello, Sven. Good morning. Good to see you. Mikey Baseball, what's up, brother? Thank you so much for checking in. Just want to make sure that we get everybody that's hopping in. Matt 1776, hello. What up to you? Good to have you. And then we had Nuclear Family of 4 coming in with a can. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I'm still looking at Fox News in the background to make sure we can try to catch Donald Trump showing up to the White House and speaking there. Right now they're in a commercial break, so just waiting on that. I'll keep an eye on it. Okay, so I mentioned this at the beginning, and it's called We Do a Little Trolling. We do a little trolling. Here is Ducey asking KJP about a private lunch that Joe Biden.
Ducey dropping a doozy.
Right? So this is him asking about a lunch that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden had yesterday. Take a listen.
We know that today, a week after the election, President Biden and Vice President Harris had a private lunch. How awkward was that?
I don't even understand. Why would it be awkward?
Because the president got squeezed out for her, and then she kept him at arm's length, and then she lost, and now she's back.
Why would you characterize it as awkward? They have regular lunches. They meet and talk regularly. Why would you call it awkward?
So there's no weirdness about the way that things have unfolded.
Did you see them? Did you see them together yesterday as well, when they honored our veterans and were together during the day, making sure that we didn't forget the brave men and women that fought for this country? Did you see them together yesterday? Did you see the show of force together? This is
show of force.
I'm not even going to take the premise of the question. What I will say is the president and the vice president had lunch today. They've had lunch many times. They have they communicate with each other regularly. Mm-hmm. They had an opportunity to discuss the last 70 days or so of this administration, how important it is to get things done for the American people. And that's their focus. That is genuinely their focus.
Thank you, Corinne. On his spray with President...
Sorry.
We know that today...
Regularly.
Regular
what?
Yeah, regular.
Yeah, that's why That's why Jill snubbed the crap
didn't even
out of
look at her.
Kamala recently.
Yeah.
Like, didn't even look at her, didn't even
Yeah, there was
acknowledge
so
her.
much body language throughout that whole thing. None of that looked comfortable. It all looked very awkward.
No.
It was so funny too. I laughed so. I'm just dying. I am dying laughing at all of this. And then like the fact that Biden seems to be a little more coherent these days. I don't know. I just find it all really hilarious to watch.
Yes, indeed. Misinformation coming in with a cookie. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. And she said, "Good morning and congratulations, crew." Thank you so much, guys. It's all you. It's all you. You guys are the ones that choose to show up and share out the show and all that. We just put this bad boy together and have the honor of presenting it to you. That's the reality of the situation. And all glory to God for bringing us all together. Like I said in the opening of the show, glory to God.
Amen.
That we stuck through these last 4 years. Some of these guys, like Adel, I know he's celebrated his 6th year the other day. These information warriors out there that built a platform on the original streaming site YouTube, got shut down and then had to rebuild from absolutely nothing. Find all those people, drag them over to Pilled and other platforms to rebuild everything. Yeah, those guys were pioneers, dude. And those guys, and I don't want to say like grew up watching, but like in my initial move over from traditional media to trying to find information elsewhere, those were the guys that I saw. They motivated me to come on and start giving my opinion. And here we are. So congratulations to this whole community for absolutely demolishing the media the way that we have. I mean, it is just incredible, and we've got a real bright future ahead of us, friends. We just got to stick with it. Got to keep that momentum going. Cannot let off the gas, because stuff like this from The Daily Show, of all places, is starting to populate. Listen to this.
But it's a delight to hear about why it happened from so many people who were so wrong about what was going to happen. And everyone has their own pet theory. But there's one theory that a lot of people seem to be coalescing around.
They were too woke, insisting that people use the term Latinx.
Too far to the left on transgender rights.
You have to say they. No, you have to do this.
Stop with the virtue signaling.
Step away from woke. Focus less on who is woke and more on who is broke.
Social justice issues take a back seat when your son is in the basement vaping and playing video games and can't find a job.
I feel like that last guy was really venting more about his son. Everybody else had sort of a broader point, but his was just so specific. You really got to focus on, let's say, a kid in your basement vaping and just jerking off all over the couch, night after night.
I mean, that's not what he said, but yeah.
Yeah, that's not what he said. Okay, interesting that you went there with that, but whatever.
It's not, I mean, it's par for the course for those people, but there you go. Yeah, so yesterday I just had to give Chris Christie a little bit of reminder. You guys remember when he thought that he was going to be a stand-up comedian and try to take a jab at Donald Trump? So I said, hey, Governor Christie, remember this? Donald Trump is president and you're still an unfunny fat man. Here you go. Take a listen.
You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
All right. I want to ask the governor.
You're not here tonight because you're afraid.
Okay, Hamburglar.
Not make that any funnier.
It's way
Good
funnier
grief.
now.
Is it way funnier now? Explain. Help me laugh.
The irony in the situation that Chris Christie has faded off into oblivion, like he's just ducked all media, has nothing to say anymore, and Donald Trump is president-elect. So you're going to be calling him President Trump, not Donald Duck.
Yes, I see the humor again. Thank you for bringing that little joy to me. Okay.
You're welcome.
That is President Donald Duck
that's
to
right.
you. Oh.
Oh, man. All right. So Kamala spent $1 billion. This one's Mr.
no.
Tizo. Shout out to Mr. Tizo. Kamala spent $1 billion hiring pedos to beat a McDonald's employee with a record.
He's just like one of us.
I'm telling you, so good. So good.
That's hilarious.
Kamala Harris decided to post this video completely unaware of the punchline that would be involved with it. She said, "Thank you to our Biden-Harris administration team that continues the fight for the promise of America. And here are these completely unhinged, disconnected liberals deciding to call her the MVP." And I actually agree with them. Yeah, I agree. I actually agree that she's the MVP. I mean, nobody but this right here, I don't know what happened, could have gotten Donald Trump elected. I mean, thank you so much, Kamala Harris, for being so ineffective on a 107-day campaign after you conducted a soft coup on the completely pudding-brained Joe Biden and allowing Donald Trump to sweep all three, both houses of Congress and the presidency. So thank you, Kamala. Yes, you are indeed the MVP. Thank you so much. Yeah, great job.
Silver linings.
All right.
Yay.
Yeah, silver linings. And apparently MAGA Joe, who we all know voted for Donald Trump, is in his now Twilight era, aka I don't care about anything mode. And here's how he decided to answer a reporter's question about a possible ceasefire before he leaves office. Take a listen.
President Biden, do you think that you can get a hostage deal by the end of your term?
The head behind you. All right.
He said, "Do you think you can avoid getting hit in the head with a camera behind you?" This dude is checked out. He is checked out, dude. Look at the look on his.
He just does not care. He doesn't care anymore.
Look at my
dude. And I'm
Look
here
at
for
him.
it.
Oops.
Yeah, it's the face of evil, considering the gravity of the question of which was asked and the flippant answer of which he responded with. He's evil.
He really is. He really is.
I mean, I just cannot. Okay, I know that he is evil. I really do know this. However, since he put the Trump hat on, and then Jill with red,
Jill wearing red,
it's like it is a glorious. It's just so I'm enjoying this. I have to be honest. He's just he's like acting out.
Yeah, he's like a
and
little
it's in our face.
child.
And I there's a part of me that enjoys it.
It is.
Mm-hmm. I don't trust anything like that, but I mean this part is
right.
I mean, he put Trump's hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Obama's vice president.
Right. And you got to remember, too, exactly. He was Obama's vice president, so he knows the things that went on during that presidency. And we got to remember that some of these people will absolutely, because how the court system works and stuff, some of these people will absolutely have the possibility to making deals to sell out other people that have done way worse things. And don't forget, Trump had even came out and said that he'd be willing to pardon Hunter Biden. I'm just saying. So everything that's been unfolding, and this is why I find it so hilarious, so amusing. Like, I don't like any of them, to be honest. However, I find it funny how things are unfolding. And like I was saying, he's seeming a little more coherent these days. You know, it's really fascinating because his mental decline just came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, it got like really bad all of a sudden. And some of these people, gotta remember, are actors. They're bad actors, but they're also good actors. So I'm just, I'm watching the
Can
whole
we add
thing
to that?
from afar and just
You know what I
laughing.
think is
Yes,
interesting
go right
as you're
ahead.
saying that? What it made me think is and I think, listen, this is just my wild imagination, but he's not doped up. Like, it's possible that
Right.
Jill helped in having him completely doped up. And when they took the presidency from Jill, she was like, I'm giving y'all the middle finger, and he's going to wake up. And so now I think the reason he is so alert is because he's not being drugged.
Right.
We've seen they like to
That's
use
also a
drugs.
possibility.
Everything is drugs.
Yeah, and
Right. Well, yeah, look at what they did to Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ryan? Remember when after he came out and he's like, yeah, they had me so drugged up that if I wouldn't have, broken away, they probably would have killed me.
Yep.
Because lithium is
Ranger,
a hell of
I
a
am
drug.
not giving Joe a pass at all. I'm saying I just think that he's off the drugs. Like, I think that he's been waking up because Jill's no longer president. The wives, I'm telling you.
Right.
And for her to wear that red, to look like the most fabulous she's looked ever. She was so moo-moo in her appearance. And when she
Yeah,
came
not
with
gonna
that
lie.
red, it was striking.
Yeah, that actually, she did that
Right.
one right. Yes, that was nice.
Yeah, that was definitely very,
Yes,
very
Ranger,
interesting.
nobody's
Yeah,
on
Ranger,
that.
nobody's saying
All
any.
right. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody's saying
Yeah,
anybody
there's
gets
no
a pass. We're just saying that it's a possibility that he could have, made a deal to save Hunter or, sold out these people because he knows that he's, in a sense, screwed. He knows that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying.
All right. Anything else on that?
No,
And that was
just funny.
enjoyable. Thank you. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Feisty, for, it's true. I think it's something to consider.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
see another act.
Wait a minute.
Another
Oh,
act.
God. All right.
Another
he
act.
say
This is
that?
2 acts in one morning.
Yeah. Did he say that after the Veterans Day? The thing that KJP said was
That was yesterday.
So that was
Probably in the morning.
okay. So not even 24 hours later, and he's
Yeah.
making that comment. It just it hits war veterans differently. If it's hitting me differently, it might be hitting other war veterans differently.
Yeah.
So
All
I'm just saying.
Okay. CNN will axe top stars in layoffs that'll see hundreds fired as ratings continue to tank. CNN is planning to wield an axe on some of its high-paid staff after dismal election ratings that cap off a disastrous period for the cable news network. According to an explosive new report from Puck, network executives will unleash sweeping layoffs in a bid to save the network's flailing reputation. It comes after the departure of stalwart Chris Wallace, and amid reports senior stars like Wolf Blitzer and Jake Tapper have both been denied raises. There is no mention of who may be on the chopping block. The highest paid stars include Anderson Cooper, who rakes in $20 million a year, Aaron Burnett, and rising star Caitlin Collins. In the next few months, I'm told CNN will implement another round of layoffs that will impact hundreds of employees across the organization, reporter Dylan Byers wrote Friday, referencing CNN's recent 100-person layoff seen over the summer. The fresh round of firings, the insider said, will be more geared towards the production side of things. As a result, reporters and correspondents will be required to cover their slack, they said, describing how on-air workers will be asked to assume more of the responsibilities once handled by teams of producers and production assistants. You know why? Because we're able to do it on our own. We don't need billions and billions of dollars fed in and entire teams of people working to tell the truth. It takes a lot to build out a lie. It takes a lot to build out a false narrative. And so now you're actually going to have to get on the air and know what you're talking about. I mean, we've seen these so-called CNN journalists. I can't remember what that black chick, what her name is. But she had Matt Gaetz on, said that he voted a certain way on something, and he was like, no, I didn't vote that way. Like, do you even know what you're talking about? Did you even do any type of journalism on this whatsoever? And the answer is no. They don't actually know what they're talking about. They're just fed whatever's in front of them, and then they read the teleprompter. Here is your narrative. Deliver it. That's it.
Chris Wallace quit.
Yeah, I know. Redundant assignments will be nixed and various divisions will be reduced or even eliminated. Some of the on-air talent are also likely to be affected, he went on to reveal. Sources who spoke to the reporter, who worked at CNN for 3 years before founding Puck, added how the looming layoffs are part of an overarching plan, one that puts a premium on the station's digital platforms. The man behind it, they said, like CNN Plus, that worked out really well for them, is none other than new CEO Mark Thompson, the former New York Times boss, brought in to overhaul the network under its Warner Bros. Discovery parent. The old BBC boss filled the position left by then languishing leader Chris Litt this past August, and since then, ratings have fallen more than 20%. Under Litt, a tenure that lasted a little over a year, the station fell from being the most watched cable news network on election nights to one of the least. In 2016, when it was headed by since ousted leader Jeff Zucker, it was the most watched network overall, a distinction that is now held by Fox News. Speaking of which, let me check over here. All right. I think, yeah, he's still not there, so we're still waiting on that. At the time, CNN had averaged 13.3 million viewers in prime time. Today, it's only around 800,000. Adding insult to injury was CNN's struggles on Election Day, a day that 8 years ago would have seen it score a decisive ratings victory. However, following a Trump presidency and a term from the Biden administration, it lost to MSNBC in terms of ratings. Oof! Something that's never been seen before, as it only drew in 5.1 million sets of eyes that night. Meanwhile, MSNBC raked in 6 million, a number eclipsed almost twofold by Fox News' 10.3 million. The numbers, aired this week in the form of Nielsen statistics, appear to show a shifting field when it comes to cable news, one seemingly set to continue with Trump's second term in office. To combat this, CNN plans to create new positions that will service Thompson's new digital-first vision. The unnamed insiders told buyers, with one source positing how the incoming changes may even yield a net gain of employees. Still, if the insiders' warning proved true, hundreds of others will lose their positions, the sources said, describing to buyers a climate at the outfit's Manhattan office rife with stress and high anxiety. Oh, man, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. So let's check in on the mainstream media here. Here is their most paid Anderson Cooper, and it appears that we've done it again, friends.
Holy cow.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I know the noise is bad, but there you go.
Who made
I didn't even know what was going on. That scared the crap out of me. I was like, what is going on? I wasn't even looking at the screen.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a meme in reaction. Yeah, it's a meme in reaction to that. Pretty hilarious.
Very clever. Gosh.
Sorry, headphones users. I suffered right along with you.
Yes, we all
so
did.
MSNBC is also eyeing being sold. So here's a little meme about that. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Nice job. I like that one. Dang. We have some.
Yes.
We have the best memers.
Yeah, we do. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. right? Pretty good.
Yes, please. Please.
So, you know, you guys remember back in the day, CNN was trying to work out on air why is it that these news networks aren't doing so well? Well, here was their answer back then. Take a listen.
But I want to recognize that for all the flaws of the mainstream media, and we have a lot of them, it's not just the media's fault that trust has been declining for decades. It's also decades of attacks by politicians.
That is the main issue, is that, like, I mean, yeah, it could be that the Washington Post is endorsing candidates, or it could be that there are millions of voters who believe lying politicians who tell them lies, knowing that they are. I mean, that could be the problem.
You were coming on television and you wore that. I'm sorry. I was distracted by the sweatshirt.
It's okay. So let's check in on Don Lemon. As we talked about, a lot of these folks, including Chris Wallace, who quit. He quit. He was probably one of the first ones on the chopping block. But let's check in on Don Lemon and how exactly he's doing with his whole independent media stint. Here we go.
Women I've been talking to are really, really concerned, and they're emotional, and I think a lot of them have a right to be.
Politicians aren't perfect. They're imperfect like everybody else. Trump's rhetoric isn't for everybody. His style isn't for everybody. We got a lot of good things done under Trump.
Okay, then what they did, meaning a woman's right to choose, was removed under Trump.
That's not the only issue in this world, okay? A percentage of the female vote went up 2%. So are those women crazy? I mean, it's not 50%, but it's high 40s, and he got that. So ask those women, like, they voted for Trump. So clearly it wasn't just abortion was the issue. Now, I agree. Even in very Republican states, you know, pro-choice amendments have done very, very well, okay? So it is a concern. I think most people are pro-choice, okay? But at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of people, there's other things. They're concerned about the broken border. They're concerned about crime. They're concerned about inflation. They're concerned about a lot of other things. So women are not one-dimensional. Men are not one-dimensional. And so if you're upset about abortion, great. If that's your prime issue, then go live in a state that's pro-choice. If it's not your one issue, like a lot of people vote for Trump, you got other things to care about, and he'll fix those things. Not totally, but he'll do his best.
I think it's easy for you to say as a man.
Well, dude, it's easy for me to say about a lot of things. Sure, I'm not a woman. That's why
What a douche.
I don't opine on abortion.
You asked me. You asked me my opinion. Oh, man, I love watching him get owned. So, anyway, here's from this morning, guys. That interview went so well, and his career in independent media is doing so well. Here's what he had to say this morning.
Hi, everyone. I have loved connecting with all of you on Twitter and then on X for all of these years. But it's time for me to leave the platform. I once believed that it was a place for honest debate and discussion, transparency and free speech. But I now feel it does not serve that purpose. In addition, starting this Friday, November 15th, X is implementing new terms of service, which among other things states that, quote, all disputes be brought exclusively in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas or state courts located in Tarrant County, Texas, end quote. The full terms of service can be found on my written statement or on the X website. Now, as the Washington Post recently reported on X's decision to change the terms, this, quote, ensures that such lawsuits will be heard in courthouses that are a hub for conservatives, which experts say could make it easier for X to shield itself from litigation and punish critics. I think that speaks for itself. You can find me on YouTube at The Don Lemon Show, or on TikTok and Facebook at Don Lemon, and on Instagram and Blue Sky at Don Lemon Official. I hope you will join me there. Thanks.
No, we won't.
You know what? You know what that is? He's trying to get people to leave X as punishment to Elon. You know, it's just like when Trump did the McDonald's and then they said there's, you know, what was it with the don't eat the Big Mac or the onions or whatever. You know, just as a...
They are punctual. People say
they're
that,
scared.
And that works really well for us on
It's
television.
actually good.
Enjoyed it with you.
What they fear is on his way to the White House right now, guys.
We have a front row seat
Pull this
to
up.
this. And it's happening
and our nation's capital.
Here we go.
Right now. Soon, President-elect Donald J. Trump will be at the White House for an Oval Office meeting with President Biden. It will mark the first face-to-face between the two men since Biden's disastrous debate performance June 27th, before Kamala Harris moved up atop the ticket. The fallout played a major role in his withdrawal from the presidential race. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. Republicans are on the brink of full control. White House, U.S. Senate, and possibly the U.S. House. It's close. Earlier this morning, Trump huddled with House GOP leaders, and here he is just before that meeting.
It's always nice to win. A lot of good friends in this room. So you know we had like historic kind of numbers, especially for the president, but we won't get into that. But the House did very well. But we worked with a lot of you to get you in, and you helped me, and you helped me too. And my numbers were, so they say, the 129 years, the most important election in 129 years. That's pretty good.
Today's traditional presidential transition meeting could be an awkward one. Biden and his fellow Democrats are likely still hurting from their crushing defeat in last week's election. Many of them have been quite emotional. Biden also threw plenty of shade Trump's way in recent weeks, including calling his supporters garbage. You remember that moment. We have an expert lineup of analysts ready to break down what we see coming out of the Oval Office this hour. We'll begin with senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy on the North Lawn. Peter, get us started.
Let's get this here.
Harris, this is going to get started any minute. We can hear a helicopter overhead as the motorcade comes in here to the White House complex. It is as busy on the north side of the White House with camera crews and well-wishers for Donald Trump as any day since the inauguration. And these people are not here for the 10 o'clock Joe Biden and Jill Biden career classrooms to career event. They want to see whatever they can.
Do you guys remember when he first came out of school, working over there? He was such a skinny little guy.
Yep.
So young. Look at what has happened. Like,
indeed. All right. So if you guys want to catch what happens on the other end of this, and you guys are over on Rumble, or you're over on DLive or Kick, or over there on X, wherever you are, make sure you guys make a pilled.net account. If you guys are over there on Rumble, I see 10 of you guys watching over there. The link is right there in the description, pilled.net. You can go to the welcome page, and as soon as you're done creating an account, it'll bring you right into this chat with these awesome folks who are waiting to greet you with open arms. Absolutely amazing, amazing community. Don't want to waste much time on this, so we're going to get this commercial going, and we will see you guys on the other side. Thank you so much for being here.